Deeptika Laurent is here with a look at the main headlines in the papers. Hello, Deepti.
Hi,
Great
Michelle.
to see you. Now, we're going to start with a look at reactions from the Korean press as the leaders of North and South Korea hold their third summit.
Avoiding clashes and nukes. That's how one paper has pretty much summed up the goal of this summit. That's the Korea Jungang Daily. That's what they're saying on their front page there. For the Korea Times, another daily there, South Korea's Moon Jae-in is hoping to advance peace talks with Kim Jong-un. So that's another main objective, is continue these peace talks and denuclearization. Now, a lot is resting on Moon's shoulders when it comes to dealing with North Korea. Despite the success of the Singapore summit between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, relations have become frosty as of late, and Moon is expected to help put U.S.-North Korea negotiations back on track. For this writer from NPR, though, that involves Moon no longer just playing good cop to Donald Trump's bad cop. It's time for Moon also to get tough talking with Pyongyang.
Okay, meanwhile in Argentina, former President Cristina Kirchner has been formally indicted on corruption charges.
That's right. A federal judge in Argentina has accused the former president of corruption and bribery involving public works contractors during her tenure from 2007 to 2015. He wants her legislative immunity lifted so he can detain her. Kirchner, alongside her late husband Nestor Kirchner, also a former president, and the former Minister of Public Works, are accused essentially of running a network of bribes involving top politicians and business owners in Argentina.
Okay, well, how is the press in Argentina reacting then?
Well, as you can imagine, it's dominating the newspapers. We're looking at La Prensa, which is a conservative paper focusing on the judge's request for immunity, while La Nación says that Kirchner has actually accused the judge of persecution because indeed some say that she could be a possible candidate to challenge Mauricio Macri in next year's general elections. Now, finally, on Argentina, for this writer from the daily newspaper Clarín, this scandal is full of, quote, immense moral perversion. And in fact, the writer compares this scandal to Frank and Claire Underwood, saying the only difference is this time it's not a TV show. This is reality. And the main characters here are Nestor and Cristina Kirchner. This corrupt plot increasing the feeling of, quote, political fraud.
Okay, we're moving to Venezuela now, Deepti, and there's some outrage over a video of President Nicolas Maduro feasting on a luxury meal prepared by a Turkish chef. All of this while his country faces a crippling food crisis.
In this video, you'll see a flamboyant Turkish chef. His name is Nusret Koçe. He's preparing meat for Nicolas Maduro and his wife, and this video has sparked the ire of Venezuelans. In fact, the chef posted the video online. It's since been deleted, but not before the Miami Herald got hold of it. Here you'll see him preparing this lavish meal. Let's take a look at this video. So there in that video, he's not just feasting on meat, he's smoking a cigar, and he's been given a freebie t-shirt by the chef. This while millions of Venezuelans are starving, they have no work, some forced to cross the border in precarious conditions. So it's a pretty despicable contrast.
Wow, I'm speechless. Next, Deepti, you found a study for us that sheds some light on the different kinds of personalities that we all have.
Well, this new study has sifted through online data sets of personality quizzes, because don't we all love a good online personality quiz? Well,
I do.
They've crunched that data from your quiz and probably and 1.5 million other people's responses. Researchers from Northwestern University have whittled it down to 4 types of personality clusters. They don't say they're traits, they're clusters. You have the reserved types, who tend to be somewhat agreeable. You have the role models, who are dependable and open to new ideas. You have the average personality.
Well, that's harsh.
Which is pretty harsh, and even harsher.
Average.
average.
You're just average.
Most of us are apparently just average, and even worse, women tend to fall into this category more than men. I don't think I agree with that category. And finally, you have the self-centered types, usually applied to teenage boys, and thankfully they explain that the older you get, the less likely you are to fall into that latter category.
Okay. Well, speaking of extroverted personalities, our final story is about supermodels and a push to copyright their catwalk moves. What's that about?
Well, certainly it's a very timely discussion as London Fashion Week wraps up. The Times reports that law school academics from Exeter University have suggested putting models into the same category as actors and musicians, calling for their catwalk, sachet, saunter, hair flick, hip-hop and shoulder roll to be protected by copyright and therefore a future source of revenue if replicated. Perhaps, I'm not sure, but perhaps their inspiration for this study, Ben Stiller's lucrative blue steel look in the film Zoolander that made his character very, very famous.
Okay, I can't believe that story. I'm going to have to take a closer look at that one. Deepti, thank you so much for that. Remember, if you want to catch up with any of those stories, do head to our website to catch up with the press review. That's at France24.com. Stay with us here on France 24. Lots more news coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go away.